Here we go. Here's the action.
Yeah. Yeah.
2, 3, 4. Southern nights. Have you ever felt the southern nights? Free as a breeze, not to mention the trees, whistling tunes that you know and love so. Southern nights, just as good even close your eyes. I apologize to anyone who can surely say they found a better way. Hey, yeah, we've done it.
Now let's hear about my percussion.
Hi there. So Southern Nights, what a fantastic song. I did that with my son in the video, and basically I did the standard tuning, and I got my son to do a capo 4. So we'll look at both versions. So if you download the worksheet, and I've also got the capo 4 version, which is a bit easier. So of course in the song there's that fantastic riff, which I will put on there, the tab. It's been well documented. So I'm also going to do the chords as well. So without further ado, let's look at the chords for the standard tune. Sorry, the one without the capo. Let's say that. Okay, so here we go. E. You'll need an E. E chord. Have a look at your worksheet. The E chord is, you want to put your first finger on the string 3, or G, G1. First finger, and then you've got your second finger up there on A2, your third finger on a D2, all 6 strings. There's an E. So the song kind of, well, it's in E, isn't it? So it starts off with a, it's almost like an offbeat strumming. So you can do that version. Check out Glen Campbell's videos. You can see, doesn't always do that version, does different live versions. So, but on the song it seems like, okay, there'll be that kind of rhythm going on. That's an E. The second chord, now there's a slide that you kind of, to get into the chord, it's quite easy. It takes a while to work out, but the chord is a C sharp 7, I believe. So we get this kind of, who slides in? I suppose you could slide in the single finger if it's too difficult. The third finger, slide in A3. Okay, so I'll give you the chord anyway, so you'll see where you are. So you've got this chord here. You want your first finger on the second string, B2. You then want your second finger on D3. Your third finger up here on A4, and your pinky down here on G, the third string, G4. So as I said, the strings are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll refer to them that way. So as I said, is this a kind of a slide in? Or you can grab the whole chord if you can get there in time. So that's the second chord. I'll check on the worksheet. You can see they're all in order on the worksheet. Colour coded as well. Fantastic. The third chord is an F sharp 7. Now Glen Campbell keeps this kind of shape, this kind of where he slides in, and then he goes to this F sharp 7 here, kind of bars it. He's obviously just playing the middle string, so again, check out those videos if you're not sure. So to make an F sharp 7, you've got this kind of bar here. I've got to stick to this version. It is a tricky one. You could do that, of course, or you could do this version. So if I give you this version to start with, F sharp 7, you've got a bar on 2, and then you've got your second finger here on G3, your third finger on A4. Make sure I say that all right. I've known to make mistakes. Of course, you strum on 6 strings, or you can just aim for the middle section. If you're doing the kind of wraparound, let's say bar chord, I don't know what else to call it, cluster, who knows, I'm not sure. This shape, F sharp 7, which is quite easy to get to from the C sharp 7. You kind of just do that little toggle with your fingers and you're in. Same fingers, you're just wrapping it around, as you can see what I'm doing there. Just practice getting to it like that. Okay, so that's F sharp 7. The 4th chord, a tricky chord this one, is A major 7. Of course there's one down here, which I'm not going to, you can check it out online, but this is the one that Glen Campbell is using. Lovely chord because you can use the open A string. So you've got this, let's say first finger down here on E4, string 1, string 2, you've got B5, B string, 5th fret, you've got your 3rd finger here on G6, 3rd string, and your pinky here on the D string on 7. They're kind of on a little slant there, and your thumb here on the E5 and an open A string, as I said. Lovely chord there. That's A major 7, and then the 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th chord is a G sharp minor. You know your E minor shape here. We just bring it up to 6, and you're gonna have to bar. You could do it like that. 2nd finger is obviously trying to get this out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. There's an E minor and a bar on 4, with your 3rd finger here on A6, and your pinky on D6. 6 strings, and then if you do this wraparound version here, with your thumb over and your 1st finger barring partly and these two playing. There you go. You can do that. Takes a bit of training. Glen Campbell's doing that. And the final chord is a B7. Now you can drop back and do this B7. It's quite tricky for me to do. I can just about get away with it. And of course a B7 down here, I'm going to do the bar shape so you can see. You are barring 2. Some people would say you bar 5 and you just kind of mute out this E2 here. I kind of go over it and I just don't play it. So it's up to you. My 3rd finger is going to go to D4, and my pinky is down here on B4, 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 and there we go. So if you do the wraparound, you're doing that type of thing again. It's up to you. You can get your, see what I'm doing there. Obviously not the cleanest sounding one. In the video I think I did that, and I did a combination of this one as well. In the live video that Glen Campbell does with Jimmy Reed, who wrote the opening riff, I believe, he does a B7 up here, so you can do that, and that's up here on 7. And you've got, of course, bar 7, and then you've got your 2nd finger here on, come on, wake up, 6, 7, 8, gosh, 8, your 2nd finger on the 8th fret on the G string, and your 3rd finger on the 9th fret on the A string, and that's also a B7. You can really thump that one because you've got all the strings, but Glen Campbell does it here, as I said, so you can try both. So that's the chord structure, and that kind of goes around the loop, with a slight variation on verse 6, I believe. So you can check that out on my worksheet. You can see that, and that variation repeats. So yeah, check it out. Yeah. Okay, so that is the chord structure that I'm doing in the video. I only did a short burst of the song. And then there's the, of course, there's the riff, the famous hybrid picking riff. So flat pick, and so Glen Campbell's kind of is picking down here, and then he's got that lovely. Now you've got a combination of playing the higher notes and the lower notes at the same time, or you can play both. I've put both on the tab so you can check that out, but I'll just show you how it's been well documented. I said a lot of people have done this. So this riff here, open E, nice little effect there, open E with an A2, with your third finger coming up to, as I'm looking at my own tab here, A2 up to A4 with your third finger, go down to D2, third finger again goes to D4, those 4 notes, and then you stretch out. It's up to you whether you use your pinky for that last note so you can reach over here. I know Glen Campbell does it in kind of one move. I have to stretch out and kind of hop around. And that last note down there is G1. So and you kind of, it just reverses itself. G1 back to D4, back to D2, and resolves itself on A4. So slowly, I use that open E once. It's like a drone that kind of drones over the rest of the notes. Okay, so that's the opening riff, and then you've got this incredibly difficult other thing, which is the Jimmy Reed bit. It's hard work this one is. Now, thumb, and you got your. I'm using my second finger to grab this. These are treble notes down here. See what I'm doing? Pick. It's playing up here. Treble notes. So you grab the. You can see them on, on the tab sheet. It's 2 on E, and you've got a 3 down here on E. Those 2 together. Then you change, you leave your bar there really, to play A, E2 down there, with your third finger reaching up to E4. So you get, then you get an open A and an open E. So I'm doing pick and open E together. Then you've got a 1 on the A and a 3. I'm just going to put them together so you can see that. That was wrong. Do that again. Got to put my pinky there. My pinky goes to 3, and my first finger is on A1. B3, A1, and then 2 O, 2 on the A and open B, and then you're up to 4 on the A with 3 now on the G. Let's put them all together. It's really difficult to play these isolated. So let's just go through it. And then your next set of notes, you can see where I am there. It's A4 and G3. This is much easier if you're following that worksheet, by the way. Trying to put this together while watching it is a bit difficult. Then all the time I'm picking 2 at the same time. Then you drop down to 2 on the G with an open D, and then finally 1 on the D with an open G. Okay, so that's the riff. You can pick if you want. I just kind of pick both with the pick there. Last 2, and it takes a while to get that together. Okay, so right, yes, so the riff, if there's any parts on here you've missed in the video, that should be covered in the worksheet, and with all the chords and chord boxes. Okay, so to continue on, there is another riff in the song. He sings along with it, so you get the so that part there, I've put the tab on the worksheet there so you can follow that one. I'm not going to walk through the whole thing, so you can check that out there. There's a variation on this where he goes da da. that'll be on the tab as well. So there's a little jazzy bit at the end. Okay, so that is the standard tuning mostly. There are other parts in it that he's kind of added and embellished over the years. There's the other part where he goes, he runs up on the F sharp 7 if you want to do that. Basses are doing that. So other little bits. So you could spend ages on this song. It's incredibly complex, really, and wonderful song. Remember, taken from Alan Toussaint. Fantastic version. If you haven't heard that, I urge you to do go and listen to that as well. And both, well, 1975 was Alan Toussaint, and I'm not sure if Glen Campbell did it the same year or like the year after. Brilliant. But like I said, he worked with Jimmy Reed on that. Okay, so I did another version for my son because that obviously is quite tricky to do. So if you wanted to do the capo version, I'm going to speed through that quite quickly. That's the capo 4. So capo 4. Okay, so capo 4? No, capo 4. Yeah. Yeah, so on the how I've changed it very slightly, you can see the chords are much easier to do. You've got a C where the E is. If you're on the worksheet, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So you get nights, that's an A17 day, and then you've got a D7, 7 nights. You've got F major 7 here instead of the A. Actually, it's almost in the same shape. F major 7, free as a breeze. You can just do if you're just working on this yourself and you can't get to bar chord, you can just play the bottom 4 strings on this F major 7. Perfect here. Avoid the top 2, and you've got your relative to the capo. You got your first finger on B1, second finger on G2, third finger on D3. 4 strings with a nice open string number 1 there. As I say, we'll refer to that as F major 7. Free as a breeze, not to mention the trees, whistling. You've got a lovely E minor, tunes that you know, and then a G. You know your E minor, come on, really. E minor is 6 strings strummed. You've got your first finger here on string 5, or let's call it A2, and second finger on D2 E minor. Tunes that you know, and you got a G7. Now either you can just do for G7, you can just play 4 strings with your first finger down here on E1, or you can play the top of the G here, which will be second finger on A2, third finger on E3, and then reach down here with your first finger. 6 strings. So all those chords together. Southern nights. A7. Have you ever felt that D7? F major 7, freeze the breeze, not to mention the trees, whistling E minor tunes that you G7, or that one. So that's the chord structure that goes around the loop. Now the riff. The riff is based, you'll see if you're looking at the worksheet, it's 3 here. Do my first finger, you can see here. That's a 3 on the E, open A, 3 on the A, open D, 2 on the D, open D. So and then back to 3. Again, as I said, this repeats, it goes back on itself. 3 on the A, and then open. So we really want to use 2 fingers on this, so you get the lead with your second finger. Yep. And then you've got the second part of that riff, which is down here. Great scale practice. So 4 on the B, 3 on the B, 5 on the G, 3 on the G, 5 on the D, 4 on the D, 3 on the D, 1 on the D, and that's the riff. Okay, I don't do the other riff for this, it's far too complex, the other one, but you could adapt it. Okay, so that is the 2 versions. Get the worksheets and you can apply both of them. The strum pattern, it's really how you really want to do it, but if you're doing like Glen Campbell, you've got this offbeat 1 and 2 and 3. I suppose you could do a different version. Summer nights, make it a bit funky. Have you ever felt blues? And kind of improvise. Free as a breeze. Just gonna run with the song. The breeze, with some tunes that you know and love so. Summer nights. Simple 4. Just looking at the chords. Close your eyes. Offbeats. I apologize to anyone who can truly say they have found the better way. There you go. Southern Nights, 2 versions in about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I've cut that down. Okay, hope that's helped you in some way. Get in touch if you want to, and subscribe for more film related songs. See you again. Take care. Take 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Happy talking, happy talk. Talk about things you like to do. You've got to have a dream. If you don't have a dream, how you gonna make a dream come true? Talk about the moon floating in the sky, looking like a lily on a lane. Talk about the bird learning how to fly, making all the music you make. I'd say that's a wrap.